So, Junior Max B final. We'll get a reminder of the 4 extra drivers who came through from the C final. Later on, we'll see who they were on this one. Cameron Nelson, Cameron Edmonds, Leon Hasty and Archie Loynes, they round out the top 2 rows in this race. Joshua Graham and
Jugas Pravilonis.
Thank you very much. Starts from row 3 on the 6th place spot. Harry Hurst-Grover, Mac McFarquhar, Albert Whilton, Victor Hansen, Charlie Neve and Luca Magni round out the next 3 rows on row 6.
I don't even know if my pronunciation was correct. I just gave it a go. Devon Nolan and Thomas Behrman are on row 7. Behind them, Callum Foster and Jonas Klimas. And it's Oliver Smith and Omar Cindy. And at the top 20, William Webb and James Waring. Then it's Jack Gillingham, Macy Creed, Daniel Kilpatrick and George Allen.
Ethan Carney, Lucy Wilden go from row 13 from Harry Bloor and Matas Miazanskas rounding out the top 14 row. Tobias Alvarez and Aidan McDonald, they round out the top 30 in this race. Then we go on to the 4 that came through from the previous race. Michael Dalton, Arthur Thacker, Luca Brooks and Will Archer starting at the back of this grid. Where will they go? Because there are some names in that one. So where will they finish? Remember, the top 4 from this one go through to the A final. Then the A final gives us our result. There you can see the drivers lined up there, ready to get going. You can see Joshua Graham just at the front of that one with the yellow and blue helmet. The driver just behind him is Harry Hurst-Grover in the number 24. He's got a nice cool livery on the back of his helmet there. I quite like that. Driver just behind him, Albert Whilton, the 962. Getting primed and ready. This is a busy old grid.
Yeah, I was going to say, it feels weird having a B final and having it completely full, 34 carts.
Yeah, like I said, it was a packed grid. We had over 300 drivers entered into this weekend. And, yeah, very, very busy one.
Oh, I've just noticed Lord Farquhar's in this one on P8. Oh, lovely stuff.
Yeah.
Hope he's still wearing his Lord Farquhar lid.
I'm sure he probably is.
He must be. It's a quality lid. I'd be very sad if he wasn't.
I'm sure he is. Engines fire up. Mist clears.
I was going to say the smoke billowing as they exit the pit lane.
I mean, there's a spinner out in the pit lane there as well. I mean, it doesn't beat a TKM start.
That is true.
You know,
that is true.
The blue smoke.
Oh, good catch.
Was a good catch.
He was completely perpendicular to the next corner, wasn't he?
That's a word.
There you go.
That's a word, that is.
Thank you.
Perpendicular. It's a good word, though. I like that one.
I think he maybe just thought, I'll just take the national. Let's take the national circuit here. Oh, nope, just kidding.
Yeah. Just psych. No. It's very easily done, though. You know, you're out there, you're testing the steering, and then you over-test the steering, and then that happens.
Yeah.
Very, very easily done.
Indeed. But all keeping it in a straight line, hopefully taking us to the start. First time of asking here in the Junior Max B final. Who's going to make it through to the A final? Not sure really what that start was, but we're getting underway nonetheless. Here we go then. Through Oblivion and Fine Lady as they head up towards Christmas Corner. Bit of contact there in the background. Oh, look at that, proper slidey from your leader. But keeps it facing in a straight line as we go through Christmas Corner. That is still Cameron Nelson in the lead of the race. Whoa, change to the lead. Leon Hasty, what a move. That was super late. I thought he was going to get overtaken by Joshua Graham. Ended up overtaking Cameron Nelson himself. There might be a change to second place as well, indeed. So that is indeed Leon Hasty to the lead. Joshua Graham now in P2. Cameron Nelson down to P3.
Yes, indeed. Chopping and changing. And a great start for the Scottish champion and the S-plate there. Leon Hasty from Scotland leads the way then from Joshua Graham, Cameron Nelson, Harry Hurst-Grover from Loynes, Behrman, Hansen, McFarquhar, Nolan, Allen, Whilton, Klimas, Webb, Miazanskas, Cindy, Kilpatrick, Carney and Dalton. Michael Dalton up into P19 at the moment in this race from the back of the grid. A phenomenal start from the driver who finished first in the C final later on, and contact right there into the braking zone of Ashby. 3 drivers involved in that one, and I think that was one driver who looked to go to the inside, then the driver in front looked to go to the inside, and then it all just concertinaed up and it went P-tong. Joshua Graham, though, he is catching up to the back of Leon Hasty, so Hasty has not got the advantage that I think he really wanted on this one. The driver racing for the Thule Motorsport team this weekend is now going to get passed by Joshua Graham, racing for the Argenti team this weekend. And they chop and change, and Graham, now with that fastest lap of the race, uses that momentum to take the lead. Hasty will latch on to the back there, won't let him get away, as Cameron Nelson in the 144 is going to try and get involved as well. Dwayne Alvarez, I think, has pulled into the pit lane now as well, which is a shame.
Yes, indeed. I think it was Omar Cindy who was involved in that earlier incident we saw at Ashby. Also, Maisie Creed having some difficulties on the lap previous as well. So both those two dropping down the order, sadly.
Yeah. So here we go then through turn 1. Back up the hill they go in towards Christmas Corner, and not looking like Leon Hasty's got the momentum here to stick with Graham. Hopefully Leon can pull something out the bag here. Squirreling under braking there for Cameron Nelson. Then the group a little further back as well. Harry Hurst-Grover, Cameron Edmonds, Thomas Behrman, Archie Loynes as well. Fighting Victor Hansen, Devon Nolan, George Allen, Albert Whilton. Still there, the top 11. There you see the 24 of Harry Hurst-Grover with the X-Kart team. There's been a lot of support on the live stream for the X-Kart team. Again, popular team out there.
There always is a decent amount of support for X-Kart here at Whilton Mill Kart Club, and look at this, leaders already catching back markers here. This could shake it up a little bit if some of them find it more difficult than others to get through on these back markers. But one thing to mention as well, because this is a B final, only 8 minutes plus 1 lap rather than the 12 minutes plus 1 lap that we've gotten used to this afternoon.
Yes.
So not as much time to pull away at the front, not as much time to make those moves. But only the top 4 going through here to the A final later on. So currently Harry Hurst-Grover, who's on the edge of that bubble, and Cameron Edmonds, the one behind, trying to break into it. Only 0.2 of a second he was behind Harry Hurst-Grover when they went across the line. So although this top 3 is an interesting battle, it's not actually going to matter. It'll only really decide who lines up 31st, 32nd and 33rd on the grid for the A final. Look at the 2 behind though, Harry Hurst-Grover and Thomas Behrman, really close now over 4th place. Thomas Behrman overtook Cameron Edmonds on that last lap of the race, now bearing down on Harry Hurst-Grover.
Indeed. So more than doing a pretty decent job here. Yeah, down the inside, nicely done. Doesn't lose any time on the exit, gets it done. Yeah, Thomas Behrman looking pretty quick out there. See, running with the KR Sport team, and KR Sport also based fairly locally. They were originally based in Milton Keynes. Now I think they're based, or they're moving to a unit in Silverstone. So they're just across the road from me. So KR Sport, I'll be popping in for a cup of tea.
Not that you've not had enough today.
No.
Speaking of which.
Speaking of which. Disembodied voice in my head. I think it's tea o'clock. Thank you very much.
Oh, here's another move.
Yes, indeed.
Down the inside at Christmas Corner. Oh dear, it's not been a good exit though for the 24 of Harry Hurst-Grover. I think it was himself trying to move up back into 4th place, and now gets overtaken by 3 karts. Yeah, or re-overtaken by Behrman, I should say, and then I think Nolan and Edmonds both managed to sneak through.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? As soon as you just get overtaken there, and very wide, it's all falling apart here for Harry Hurst-Grover. Yeah.
Not happy.
Yeah, he's tumbling down the order now, and that can happen as soon as you get overtaken by 1. You're like, oh no, you get a bit flustered, and
especially when that overtake was going from in the A final to not in the A final.
Yes, yeah, it can be a bit unnerving, and unfortunately that has meant that he's dropped down the order just that little bit more. That battle's interesting though. Thomas Behrman and Devon Nolan, as the 54 is in 5th place at the moment, and the A final is just 1 position ahead of him.
I think they might have been going side by side. They definitely are behind them. Big accident there between the 24. So Harry Hurst-Grover's race goes from bad to worse, and he's not happy about that.
No, not happy at all. And you could just see there, I think they were just trying to squeeze each other, and I think they just squeezed a little bit too much. And yeah, the tyres touched, and they ping up in the air if the tyres touch at the wrong spot. So, yeah, big shame. Just clips the safety barrier that wraps the lampposts up here at Whilton. There, though.
As you say, the tyres just touched, don't they? And then it flings one car up onto the nose cone of the other, and then suddenly round they both go.
Yeah, common incident in karting. There's Michael Dolan. Michael Dalton. P11.
That's a move for fourth, I think. Oh, it really smashes the curb there, does the 256, just as we saw earlier. But that is a change on the bubble. Through goes Devon Nolan into fourth. Thomas Behrman now down into fifth. To be fair, after such a takeoff, actually hasn't lost too much time from that.
Yeah,
impressively so.
I know, he's all right. Yeah, just saw the back end of that one coming back onto the circuit.
Yeah, sorry to cut across you, mate.
No. Perfectly fine. Yeah, no, just like you say, not the best way you want to exit a corner. And
No.
like I say, that can definitely shake you up. So, Devon Nolan then puts himself up into the top four spots, like you said. And we'll have to see where he comes at the end of this one, because Thomas Behrman will recover from that one. He is a very talented driver, so is Devon Nolan as well. So two very talented drivers here who both want that position. And like I say, that's probably the most important position on circuit at the moment. This is still looking a little further back. This is a big group. This is Jack Gillingham, Ethan Carney, William Webb, Daniel Kilpatrick, Victor Hansen, Charlie Neve, Aidan McDonald, as well as Joshua Graham, I should say, constantly setting fastest lap after fastest lap. Has opened up, and back down the inside goes Thomas Behrman on Devon Nolan. That was to be expected. The timer has struck 0, meaning that the last lap board is out this time. So I suspect that Devon Nolan will respond and retaliate to that overtake. So let's keep an eye on these two, because these is the last spot for the final. Opens up the rad just to cool the kart down just that little bit. Overheated there for Devon Nolan. And Devon now going to try and find his way through. Final lap board comes out then for these two. Graham leads from Hasty and Nelson. They're 1, 2, 3. They're fine at the moment. This, though, the battle for fourth place. It is Thomas Behrman in the 256. But Devon Nolan wants that seat into the A final to start. He will start at the back of the grid for the A final, and down into the braking zone, squeezes his way through and finds a gap that I don't think Behrman was expecting there to be, and makes the move done. And Behrman gets squeezed onto the outside there, and Devon Nolan moves up into P4. The checker flag goes out to Joshua Graham, Leon Hasty, Cameron Nelson crosses the line, and Devon Nolan will come across the line to finish P4 and taking the last transfer spot into the A final that we will see later on today from Thomas Behrman, George Allen, Cameron Edmonds, Mac McFarquhar, Matas Miazanskas and Albert Whilton. But will they stay like that? I suspect a few words will happen.
That was a bit naughty from Devon Nolan. There wasn't on
well,
the last
no,
lap.
I don't think it,
in car racing we call that showing a bit of wing. I think it was made the overtake and then just basically held his line, being like, no, you're not coming, you're not rejoining here, mate. Just bumped side pod.